Welcome to the Enhancement Talent Podcast.
Any man with two hands has a fighting chance.
You're only half the man that I am, and I have half the brain that you do.
What?
You are a sniveling little suck-up sellout full of suffering succotash, son.
What?
I'm not burning with you. Give me a hell yeah.
We are back and better than ever. Welcome to the Enhancement Talent Podcast, wherever you may be and however you may be listening. We appreciate you stopping by. I am your host, Brock Fluker, and I am joined by Chris Kirby.
The one and only.
The one and only.
Thank God.
Yeah, funny story. We host the show here at Chris's house, and I got about halfway there before I realized that I did not have my laptop nor my microphone.
Which means no show.
Yeah, so I turned around and got it and came back.
I still don't know how it took you an hour to go 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was something. Anyway, welcome everyone again. We are going to do things a little differently here today.
Because if you saw the shows, there's nothing good that came out of them.
Yeah, so I wanted to start doing like the main talking points we have for the week at the beginning, and then we can kind of circle back and go through the full review. And
See, that's how we catch the listeners. You tease something in the beginning, like what the main talking point, and then you wait till the end to get to it. That way they have to listen to all this crap.
yeah, but then some people just won't listen to it.
Well, at least they'll download and fast forward.
They'll just be like, get to the point. Alright, so for this week, the main talking points, and there were really two of them, which we'll get to the other one later.
And don't worry, guys, because I don't even know them yet.
Yeah, so Becky Lynch has been pulled from the Survivor Series card where she was scheduled to face Ronda Rousey. And reason being is that at the end of Raw, in fact, after Alexa Bliss had just announced her final team members for the women's match, it shakily went to the backstage area where Becky Lynch had an arm bar or a disarmer, disarm her, disarm him, disarm whoever, disarm everyone.
That arm thing.
Yeah, on Ronda Rousey in the locker room area. And so she would come out to the ring and stop at the ramp when all of the other SmackDown women would come out, and a melee would ensue.
Now, how many SmackDown women were there?
All of them.
Well, I know, but how many? Because I know there were 7 from Raw in the ring.
Let's see. There was Becky, the Iconics,
They
Lana.
only count as like half, right?
There was Lana,
Naomi,
Carmella,
Carmella.
Asuka. Except I don't even remember seeing Asuka. So
She was there.
she was there, but I don't remember seeing
Maybe
her.
she got taken out quick.
So that's 7 right
So
there.
maybe it was 7 on 7.
I don't know.
I think that's it.
Okay. Either way, the SmackDown ladies take out the Raw ladies, and somehow in the midst of this, and when you're watching it live, there's no possible way of knowing where, Becky Lynch got a very drastic face altercation, we'll call it.
She got jacked up. I mean,
Pun intended.
yeah.
That was funny. I don't know if you did that on purpose
No, I
or not. But anyway.
I guess she got jacked up.
Jacked up. Yeah, so when you watch it on live TV, there was no way of telling this, and I tried to watch it back on the recording several times, but because WWE likes to do 1,000 camera cuts every 2 seconds, there was no way of even telling what the hell happened.
Not on Raw, but if you watch SmackDown, they slowed the whole thing down.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to get to. is that first fan footage came out on. I first saw it at some point on Tuesday during the day of the Nia Jax punching Becky Lynch in the face.
Okay.
And originally, a lot of people speculated, it was a big brawl, maybe an errant elbow or something caught her by accident.
Yeah.
That is not what happened. And, as awesome as it looked when Becky Lynch and the SmackDown woman exited through the crowd, and Becky with the battle scars that she had, Irish war paint, I think she referred to it as.
Yeah.
That was awesome, but the main point I do want to talk about is it's terrible that now Becky Lynch has been pulled from the card, which Chris, you probably didn't know until you watched SmackDown, but it was reported earlier that day. I believe it was Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful.com that originally broke the story that Becky would have to be pulled from the Survivor Series card.
Well, I never read anything until after SmackDown.
Yeah.
So I didn't know any of this happened until afterwards.
Yeah, after you watched it, which probably wasn't until Wednesday.
Yeah, and I didn't want any spoilers.
Yeah. So that is where I first heard it, and obviously unfortunate. And then at the beginning of SmackDown, they play the straight footage of Nia Jax punching Becky, and they zoom in on it. They play it in slow-mo.
All the way through.
They make it abundantly clear what happened here.
Yeah.
And that leads me to speculate that Nia Jax has heat right now.
Probably.
Because I can't imagine that they really cared much about protecting Nia's image or anything like that when they played that for the world to see.
Yeah. They did that for a reason.
Yeah. So,
but
that
with that, though, it was, and I'm not going to say it was announced, it was rumored last night that since Rousey and Lynch won't happen this Sunday, it's expected to be a possible main event at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I did want to mention that at some point. I believe Meltzer first reported that.
Meltzer.
Yeah, and that is a silver lining, I would say, because I think that Becky versus Ronda in the main event of WrestleMania, that's what I pitched several weeks ago.
And let's just get it out there. We'll be there in person to see it.
Yeah, we will be there.
We are going to New Jersey.
And if Becky versus Ronda is our main event, then I will be quite happy.
That'd be worth the drive.
So long as Becky wins. Well, really, I love both of them, so I won't.
But Becky would be a better winner.
Yeah. So, the main point, though, and what is being talked about a lot, is Nia Jax.
Yes.
And the accident, we'll call it.
And I mean, if you look at it, it was 3-on-1 against Nia. I mean, I think she was just swinging to get out, and maybe Becky was just a tad too close.
So, here's what I'm going to say.
Okay.
I cannot fully believe that this was completely an accident.
Nope.
Because when you look at it, she looks Becky right in the face. She's looking right at her, and she does not throw a working punch at her.
No, that's a Brock Lesnar punch.
She throws a right cross.
Yeah,
like she's Conor McGregor, and she winds back and clocks Becky. Like, her hair is kind of in the way in the video, so you can't tell exactly, but obviously she got her right between the eye and the nose sort of area.
On the video, it just looks like she hit her nose.
Yeah.
Barely.
So, a lot of people, and the main one I've listened to was Brian Alvarez ranting about this, and this was just unsafe, obviously. And there are the people that just say, oh, well, it's wrestling and things happen and it's not ballet. But the whole premise of professional wrestling is not to hurt someone, but to make it look like you are hurting someone.
Yes.
And you can look at many of the great workers of all time, and this is something that Alvarez also pointed to. You can look at Shawn Michaels, you can look at Bret Hart, you can look at guys like that. They never hurt someone like that.
Yeah.
And most of the time when someone, at least in the old days, when someone got hurt, it was because more of something they did to themselves than something that someone else did to them.
Yeah.
And this is not the first time that Nia has done this. Well, the first time to this extent, for sure. But you can look at... there's a Reddit thread that I saw that has clips of every time that Nia hurt someone.
God.
And you don't have to go any further than the Evolution pay-per-view when she carelessly chucked Zelina Vega into Tamina's face.
Yeah, I saw that.
And apparently Vega had a concussion, and she was just back on TV this week.
Wow, everybody's getting a concussion lately.
Yeah, so...
I want one just to fit in.
Yeah, so, and then you can go back to Charlotte did a moonsault, which Nia did not catch her on, and she landed on her face, which is probably why she always lands on her feet now.
It could be.
You have the Bayley, she's injured. She injured her shoulder before SummerSlam last year, I think, when she was supposed to have the women's title match against Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
Alexa, I believe she injured too in maybe their WrestleMania match or one of those matches.
Damn.
I mean, I never even saw how she injured her at least, but it was at least in that match.
Needless to say, she's not very safe to work with.
No. And I want to go back to what I said earlier, is that I can't fully believe that this was an accident. I think that it might have been a situation where maybe Nia felt like Becky stiffed her one time and she wanted to give her one back.
Could be.
And went a step too far by accident there.
Maybe.
But I can't fathom that Nia did not want to hurt Becky at some degree in this.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell, especially with creative. You know, did they want her to make it look real?
Yeah, but the whole point, though, is that...
I mean, I know they're not trying to hurt anybody, but maybe just with all the action going on and all the chaos, it just happened.
Yeah, and that's another point, though, is that the cameras aren't focused on this on live television, and they're just all over the place, and it's a brawl. So nobody's focusing on that one punch.
Yeah.
So does it really need to look that good? It's just such an odd thing.
They wanted it to happen, just not as severe, so they could play it off later on in a storyline.
Right.
You know, a Becky versus Nia storyline.
Right. I don't know. I can't really see that being the case in this circumstance.
You think they do it more on a one-on-one kind of thing, so everybody sees it.
Yeah. That's an interesting point, though, because, you know, they have had hard way blood in mostly Brock Lesnar matches.
Yeah.
Where, like, the match with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, where Brock just busted him open with his forearm, and the match with Randy Orton, where he just busted him open.
Mm-hmm.
He concussed Orton, I believe, in that, but that was what he was supposed to do in both of those matches. But I can't say that I expect or really even think it's much of a possibility that that's what they wanted to do here.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
Because if you were going to do something like that, you would think you'd do it, for one, on the pay-per-view, because they don't like having blood on TV, because
it's a family-friendly show.
It's rated PG, and when they're on their own network, they kind of have more liberty to do whatever they feel
Pretty
comfortable
much
doing.
do whatever they want.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's just such a shame that we're missing out, at least for now, on what was really the only match I was genuinely looking forward to on this card. Because, I mean, Nia just, maybe you could call it going into business for yourself, is what they used to call it.
Yeah. Haven't heard that in a long time.
Yeah, so I'm sure Nia's a nice person. I don't want to bury her too much, but I do think that maybe it wouldn't be the worst thing if she was sent back to developmental.
She could probably use a little more work.
Yeah, because when she was called up, it was the opinion of just about everyone that it was too early. And she was one of many like that. You can look at Dana Brooke and others that I can't really think of off the top of my head, but there are people that just get called up too early when NXT
the Iconics.
Well, the Iconics were there
Lana.
forever, though. Lana is, yeah.
I mean, there's the list can go on and on depending on what you're looking at.
Yeah. But other than that, do you have anything else to mention about this?
No, I'm just curious to see where it's going to go.
All right, well, we will roll into our Raw review.
Okay, we're done with Raw. Now let's go to SmackDown.
And, yeah, we already talked about the good parts.
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Yeah. So, oh, God. We opened with the...
We opened with the Veterans Day tribute.
Yes, that's
As
right.
a vet, I loved it.
Yes, WWE is always good with the supporting the veterans and the military, and
Yes.
they always put together nice video packages, and they always do good stuff with the tribute to the troops every year.
Which I love.
Yeah, but I'm always a fan of that.
But, I mean, just the way they started the show, it was just a nice tribute.
Yeah,
If you skipped it or didn't watch it, you really should.
yeah. It's a shame though that their tribute to the veterans was not a good show.
Yeah, well, that's why they put the tribute up front.
So we started with straight away. The ring is filled with geeks,
Yeah.
otherwise known as the tag team division. And
Hey, aren't they the enhancement talent?
they ought to be. And we're told that this is a tag team battle royal, and the winner is going to get to be the captain of Team Raw.
Yeah.
In the Survivor Series tag team 10-man. I love this. They call it a traditional 10-man Survivor Series match.
But how is it? No, it's not 10 man. It's 10 on 10.
Yeah, that's right. 10 on 10. Yes.
I mean, how is that traditional when it's normally 5 on 5? Now we've got 10 on 10.
Yeah, this is far from traditional.
It's like, what do you consider traditional? Whatever they make up, I guess.
And this match does not even get off its legs when Braun Strowman runs down.
He kills everybody.
And yes, that's exactly what I was going to say.
he took them all
He
out.
killed everyone.
And the show's over because everybody's dead.
Yeah, so Braun kills everyone and then says he's not leaving until Baron Corbin gets these hands. He gets a chair and is ready to sit in the ring, Stone Cold Steve Austin style.
Yeah.
Until it is not Corbin's music that interrupts, but Stephanie McMahon making her return to Raw.
Mama McMahon back on Raw. Why?
Yeah.
All she does is screw crap up.
Yeah, so we get to this Stephanie promo.
Which was like 20 minutes long.
Yeah, it felt like it. She
18 minutes.
She preaches the importance of beating SmackDown and her brother Shane.
Yeah.
God, isn't it just... Aren't you just, like, so enthralled with, oh my God, who's gonna win, Stephanie or Shane?
Oh, I'm so over it.
We have been realistically seeing this same thing for, like, 20 years of just the McMahons.
Yeah.
It's just time for something else, man. So, Braun says he doesn't give a damn about representing Stephanie's brand. He just wants Corbin. So Stephanie compromises and says Braun can have whatever he wants if he leads the team to victory at Survivor Series, because Braun is a part of that. I think he's the captain of that Survivor Series team.
Yeah.
And so Stephanie says, you can have whatever you want, planes, trains, money.
Yeah.
And Braun's just like, I don't want trains, planes, and money. I want Corbin.
Yeah.
Or no, it wasn't Corbin. I want another match against Lesnar.
Yeah.
For the title. And before that, I want Baron Corbin.
Yes.
Yeah. So Stephanie agrees to this, but says that the caveat is that he cannot touch Baron Corbin until after Survivor Series.
So you know what that means, don't you? The second the finishing bell at the Survivor Series match rings, Braun's going to whoop his ass.
Yeah.
I mean, the match is over, so he can't get in trouble for it.
Well, it's also he has to win for that.
Well, that's true.
So that's another thing. And he also said he wanted to choose the stipulations.
Yeah, that's what threw me off. He's not the type to want an extreme match. Maybe a no count out.
Yeah.
Maybe a no DQ match.
Well, I assume that the Corbin match will probably be at TLC.
Oh, I'm sure.
So I don't know if you want to do a tables match, a ladder match, a chairs match, a stairs match.
I think just a straightforward no DQ match, because then you can use it all.
Yeah.
But then, then you have other people jumping in the match.
Yeah. So then we get Ronda Rousey randomly interrupting.
And again, no reason.
I think the only reason is that Stephanie was in the ring, and she wanted to threaten Stephanie. Stephanie, throughout this, by the way, did not sell any semblance of fear towards Braun Strowman.
No.
Which aggravated me.
I mean, this guy's, 12 feet tall, and Stephanie's 4'2", and she's just standing there like they're the same size, like Braun's just Gumby.
Yeah. So, Ronda comes out, she threatens Stephanie a bit, but Baron Corbin interrupts. And Baron walks up to Ronda, and he puts his arm on Ronda's shoulders, he puts his hand on Ronda's shoulder, and it's just like preaching the importance of brands, whatever. And so Ronda takes this opportunity to give Baron a judo throw.
Which, who cares? It's Baron.
Yeah. So Braun gets in Corbin's... Oh, go ahead.
It's corporate Corbin.
Yeah. I've actually liked Corbin in this role, though. I have to say.
I don't. I liked him better as a wrestler.
I don't know. It's just like his character is developed and changed so much since he first came in on SmackDown a couple years ago.
Well, now, to me, it just seems I'm watching The Authority.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's what's going to make him look good? What can he get out of it?
Yeah, let me be more clear. I don't necessarily like the direction that they put Corbin towards, but I think his performance in the role is good.
Bring Angle back.
God, Angle was terrible as GM.
But yet, to me, still better than Corbin.
No, that's a stretch.
I just say, you know what? Let's do that special guest GM every week like they did before. Bring in celebrities. Let them be special GM. Make matches. Do whatever.
Most of them were terrible.
But it was better than
But every once in a while, you got the Bob Barker.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
You bring in some legends that are under the Legends contract. Let them be GM for a week. I'd like to see Hall or Nash be GM for a week. Or Sting.
Point being is that the heel authority figures are worn out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Old, outplayed.
Yes, I agree. So, after Ronda throws Corbin, Ronda exits, and Braun is stalking Corbin, waiting for him to get up, gets in his face, but Stephanie gets between them and tells Corbin to leave.
Yeah.
And Corbin leaves, and Braun says, I wrote this quote down, enjoy your time being Stephanie's lapdog, because after Survivor Series, I'm going to neuter you.
Yes.
How lame.
It's PG. It's a PG show.
What kind of threat is that? I'm going to neuter you.
I mean, they could have at least made it sound better and be like, I'm going to Lorena Bobbitt your ass. Something.
Jeez. That was just, yeah.
I mean, it was funny for a split second.
It was. I did laugh at it, but for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
So that's the end of that.
Thank God. It was an 18-minute segment.
Yeah. With the first, minute of it being a tag team battle royal.
Not even that, I don't think.
Probably not.
Because the bell never rang.
I think it did start.
I don't think it did.
I'm pretty sure it did. No one had gotten eliminated yet, but I'm pretty sure it started.
Wish I had my computer right here. I'd look it up. I don't think it did, but it may have.
So, we get Ember Moon versus Tamina next.
Why?
Which, we weren't here last week.
No, we weren't. Somebody had to go to a football game.
Yeah, I was at a magnificent Steelers game.
Yeah, I'll admit they whooped Carolina's ass.
It was very fun. But in the midst of that, we missed reviewing the shocking turn of Nia Jax. She turned heel again and sided with Tamina and beat up on Ember Moon.
Yeah.
Which we totally did not predict was going to happen.
No, not at all. I really didn't think so.
You're being sarcastic.
It doesn't show.
We quite literally did just predict that would happen, and then a week later it did. I'm sure we were not the only ones.
Oh, probably
could
not.
see that coming. So, Ember and Tamina, they have a run-of-the-mill match. Ember looked good, as she normally does in these matches, but towards the finish, Ember would go for the Eclipse, but Nia distracted. Tamina would get a super kick, and then a Superfly splash, if you can call it that, for the win.
That was like a Superfly fall.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no room to jump to splash. It was just her falling off the rope.
Yeah, it's like the Toy Story thing. Like, it's not flying, it's falling with style.
Yeah, the only note I have on this match is Tamina wins, no big thing.
Yeah. It's a shame, though. Ember's losing on TV.
Yeah, I mean, that is a shame. I did read where Nia Jax gave an interview.
Yeah.
Just recently because she's been teaming up with Tamina and they've been seen together. She is not in favor of women's tag titles right now. But yet, they're on TV, it sure seems like they're trying to be.
We're getting there. I mean, I don't know how much longer they're going to wait, but you can see that they're putting the pairings together.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's a Royal Rumble or even a WrestleMania thing.
Yeah.
Because what better way to have a tag team tournament and let it finish at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
For women's tag titles. Co-brand.
Yeah, you can have like a SmackDown side and a Raw side, and then the two winners of each bracket face each other at Mania.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, I dig. So, we have a Corey Graves in-ring interview next, and he's going to interview Seth Rollins. And last week, again, not here, Rollins was forced to defend the tag titles by himself against AOP. The AOP.
I mean, really? Do we need to even cover that?
No.
I mean, Seth Rollins, what, about 5'10", 180 pounds, against two AOPs at like 6'3", 800 pounds each, all muscle? Come on.
Yeah, and that being said, Seth got in way more offense than I was comfortable with in that match.
I really thought for a split second he was going to pull it out.
If he would have won, that would have been the biggest burial of all time.
No, nothing will beat Braun and a 10-year-old winning.
Yeah.
But it'd be a damn close second.
That's true. Yeah, so after that match, Ambrose came out and hit him with the dirty deeds and blah, blah.
Yeah.
So Seth still wants answers from Ambrose. This was the typical interviewer asks one question and then disappears. And in this case, Corey Graves, he asks Seth how he is going to be able to focus on Shinsuke Nakamura this Sunday, who he does have a match against.
Yes.
In case you didn't know.
Just another champion versus champion.
Yeah.
Nothing major.
And Seth actually says, I'm not concerned with that right now. Right now, I'm just concerned with Ambrose. I'll worry about that on Sunday.
Yeah.
If Seth doesn't care about it, why the hell should I?
Well, because right now he's more worried about why he's getting his ass whooped by Ambrose every week.
Yeah. So Dean appears on the Titantron, and he has his car.
And this is where Corey disappears.
Yeah, this is where Corey disappears. And he has his car, a nice-looking sports car, or whatever it is.
Really? You call that a nice-looking sports car?
I don't remember.
It looked more like a damn Chevy Cavalier. I mean, it was,
well, whatever it was.
It wasn't anything fancy. It looked like Renee had all the money, and that's all he could get with what he had in his wallet.
So next to this car, though, is what would you call it? Like a can?
Burn barrel.
A burn barrel. Okay, we'll go with that.
That's what they call them where I'm from.
Okay.
You burn stuff in it, and it's a barrel.
Yeah, and burning stuff is what Dean was going to do here.
Yeah, because he's going to burn it down.
And there was a nice little fire in this barrel, which is right next to his car.
Which I really thought it was Rollins' car. And I thought something else.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to use that barrel for something else with the car.
Yeah.
You know, like take out a piece of wood that's on fire and throw it in it or something.
That fire being right next to the car seems like a bit of a safety hazard. But what do I know? And
it doesn't matter. Creative did not write any accidents.
So Dean says he doesn't owe anyone an explanation. And this was a good promo, I thought. Dean talking about how self-absorbed Seth Rollins is. And
a lot of it made sense, though.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a diehard fans like we are, we watch every week, sometimes more than once.
Yeah.
Then you see that, I mean, a lot of what he said is right.
Yeah. Yeah, and he didn't exactly give an explanation as to why, but he kind of started with the insults towards Rollins and the self-absorbed and all of that. And so he picks up his shield vest from off the ground. And he says something about burn it down.
Yeah.
And then throws the vest in.
Well, he dumps gasoline.
He pours gasoline onto it. It was actually water.
Yeah.
And then he throws it into the fire.
You knew it was water because, A, he dumped it all over himself at the same time as trying to soak the vest. And when he threw it in the damn
flames
barrel,
didn't rise.
Yeah, the flames didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
And that's what I was looking for, too, was flames shooting up.
Yeah. Well, that would have really been a safety hazard.
Well, yeah, but it looked more realistic than, I'm going to dump this gasoline on this and throw it in the fire and watch. Nothing's going to happen.
I guess the question, though, is why did the car have to be there?
Good point. What was it with the car?
Because if you didn't have the car there, you could have actually put gasoline on it.
Well, yeah, but then he'd get it all over himself.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just, I don't know. After the first few seconds, I tuned out.
Yeah.
It just was not all that.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. I've seen a lot of people say that this was terrible, which I don't really agree with. But it was good, I thought.
I'm not going to say it was terrible, but after a few minutes, it's just, who cares? I look at things different than a lot of people.
Yeah. I don't know. I liked this for the most part, but I didn't take a lot of notes on the things that Dean actually said. But as far as like the content that Dean was saying, I enjoyed that part. I don't know. Maybe the other stuff is a bit over the top, but it was fine.
They had to have some way to kill time.
Yeah. So we get a highlight video of something else that happened last week, which was the destruction of Kurt Angle, brought to you by Drew McIntyre.
Which was a good match, really.
It was fantastic.
I mean, especially for being a TV match.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the best ones I've seen in a while.
The basic premise of this was that Drew just annihilated Kurt.
But he really didn't just annihilate him.
He embarrassed him.
Yeah. Come on now. He put him in the ankle lock.
Yeah. And apparently, according to Meltzer, I believe, again, that whole match was put together by Vince and Kurt themselves, and it was Kurt's idea to put Drew over the way he did.
Wow.
So, props to him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's, 50 years old?
Yeah, 50, 60, something.
I mean, he's up there. I mean, why not help the younger talent? He's only got a limited amount of time in the ring.
Yeah.
So why not do what you can to help the most people?
Yeah. Unlike the Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker approach, which is just
the geriatric match?
Just to fight each other until the end of time.
Yeah. Well, it's coming soon if you look at their ages.
Yeah. So we get that video package. And then straight after the video package, Kurt Angle's music hits. And then, for the first time ever, Dolph Ziggler's record scratch came into actual use here.
Yeah.
When it cut off Angle's music.
Yeah, for once it finally fit.
Most of the time it's just annoying.
Yeah.
This time it was good annoying.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that one.
So, Drew and Dolph come out, and Drew gloats about his destruction of Kurt Angle, and then Finn Balor interrupts, and Finn tells Drew that he crossed the line last week with Kurt, and Finn wants a match against Drew. And Drew says he'll give him a match against Dolph Ziggler. And maybe if Finn wins, he'll lower himself to Finn's level.
Which told me that he thinks that Ziggler is that far down.
Yeah, that's what actually the commentary pointed out at some point at the beginning. This was sort of like, this whole promo, it felt like sort of like a changing of the guard. Whereas, like, as first, when Drew debuted with Ziggler, it was Dolph appeared to be the leader, and Drew was there to have his back.
Yeah, Drew was the muscle.
And now it feels like Drew is just like, no, I'm the captain now.
A little mutiny.
Yeah. So
because even Ziggler caught on.
Yeah,
he gave that weird look to him.
Yeah, Dolph looked very confused.
He's like, "What are you saying? I'm below you?"
Yeah. So McIntyre gives Finn a headbutt, and then I think we go to commercial and we come back and the match started.
Yep.
And
again, nothing major in this match.
This was a typical heel Dolph Ziggler match where he just works over Finn forever.
Yeah. And then
headlocks galore.
Yeah, and you know what that means for me? Fast forward galore.
Yeah, exactly. So
it was nothing.
No, there was no substance to this match at all.
The only thing worth noting is that it looked like Balor might have tweaked his knee at the end. But when he was walking up the ramp, he seemed fine.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's the only thing.
What, was it coming off of like a coup de grace that he missed or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it looked like he might have just tweaked his knee landing.
Yeah, he was probably selling.
He could have been.
But eventually, Finn comes back from the onslaught of Dolph Ziggler headlocks. And he takes out McIntyre with a drop kick between the ropes. And he goes for a coup de grace on Ziggler. But Ziggler gets out of the way and rolls up Finn. But Finn counters Dolph's roll-up into his own roll-up, and he wins.
Yeah.
So Finn beats Ziggler. So I guess Drew will lower himself to Finn's level now?
Is that going to be next week? Or is that going to be after next week? Because next week we have to do the rematches from Survivor Series.
Yeah, that's true. So, not much else to say about that. Drew is cool.
No. I mean, I like Drew. Since he came back, I like Drew.
I'm hoping they have big plans for Drew.
Away from Ziggler.
Yeah. Get him in the title picture soon, please.
Strowman versus McIntyre at a pay-per-view.
They've kind of put that to the side now, haven't they?
Yeah, but that would be a great match.
Yeah, I would like that. So we have Stephanie and Baron Corbin backstage. And they're walking, and they run into Finn. And Stephanie announces Finn for the Survivor Series team. When Dolph and Drew interrupt, and Stephanie says all three of them will be a part of the team.
Yeah.
Corbin probably didn't like this. He was like trying to get his piece in, but Stephanie just kept cutting him off.
Well, when she signs your paycheck, she can do what she wants.
Yeah. So what do we have? We have Strowman, Ziggler, McIntyre, Finn,
And then one more.
And then later in the night, we're advertised Bobby Lashley versus Elias, and the winner gets the last spot.
Yes, which we'll get to.
Yeah. So, next. Oh, boy. I've actually been waiting to talk about this. This Ronda Rousey interview.
Okay, I've got to put it out there. You mentioned her name. We're at that point. Why in the hell does she sound like she's about to cry every time she has a microphone? Every time. Backstage, in the ring, it don't matter. She always sounds like she's going to cry. It makes me want to tear up and cry with her.
I don't know.
It just sounds like it. Her face gets all red. Kind of looks like her eyes get a little watery.
I feel like that has to be some sort of transitioning effect.
Maybe just nerves.
Yeah, that... I don't know. It's like... It's mostly, I think, when people are cheering for her. Like, I think it's like the live crowd elements that just sort of
something she's
puts
not
her
used
in
to
that.
yet.
Yeah.
But even backstage, she does it.
Yeah.
And that's... Maybe it's just overwhelming, everything, all of it. To her. You know, she gets thrown into the company, and then boom, she's champion, and she's the face of the women's side now. And
yeah, it's happened very fast. And to her credit, she has picked up this wrestling thing very quickly.
She really has. I really wish she'd do something, any other move besides a judo throw.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
But this is such a sidebar, but what's really surprised me is how good at selling she is.
But she is.
Like, she is...
That armbar?
I would say among the best at selling.
I'd put her up there.
Yeah.
Maybe not the best, but up there with them.
Yeah. So, anyway, the actual content of this interview.
Oh, there was content?
Yeah. Oh. So, originally, I just watched this, and it was all, like, blurred, practically, because I just couldn't even fathom what I was hearing. So... If I was not doing this show, I would have just said, that sucked, and moved on with my life.
I did.
But because I love breaking things down that don't deserve to be, I decided to rewatch this.
Okay.
And I even wrote down the best part.
The end?
But actually first. So the whole thing starts with Ronda talking about Becky, and the part that's confusing is that she mentions things, she makes reference to, we'll say, things that most people do not know and will not be able to follow. Because the whole thing was, Becky has said in interviews, and she's talked about it, like, not on WWE circa. That sort of thing. Like, it's not mentioned on WWE television.
More like Twitter.
Yeah, and interviews and podcasts she's done. Is that when she first came to America, before she was wrestling, she started off as a flight attendant, and at some point she was, like, in school to be a clown, which is a real thing, apparently.
Yes, clown school is a real thing.
Yeah. So during this promo, and I think Ronda's even mentioned it before, like, while you were learning how to juggle, I was practicing arm bars. And while you were informing people that sometimes the exit is behind you, I was learning arm bars.
Yeah.
So that's something that I don't feel like many people follow. But that's what it's referencing.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know the backstory to most wrestlers.
Yeah. So then we get to this part. And Ronda says, quote, "You're not just the man. You are the millennial man. You are the skinny jeans wearing, V-neck sporting, avocado toast munching, wing shoe wearing, millennial man with a bubble-wrapped ego and a porcelain self-perception."
Aren't they about the same age?
Yeah, that's another thing. Becky is actually 2 days older than Ronda Rousey.
Okay, so...
And they are both millennials.
So Rousey is talking about herself?
Yeah, effectively. We talked about this the other day at work, and I just hate the word millennial.
Yeah.
and general, and how it is misused, and
Literally.
yeah, exactly. and you pointed out to me, and I didn't even think of it at the time that I first watched it, and I noticed it the second time, is that like what Ronda was trying to do was sort of like the Ric Flair thing, the kiss stealing, wheeling dealing,
limousine
ride,
yeah.
son of a gun, and do that with this because, you know, the man is obviously a play on Ric Flair.
And that's what made me think that's what she was doing, because Becky Lynch is calling herself the man.
Yeah.
And to me, it sounded like everything that Ric Flair would say, just more of a diss than anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, it's telling, though, that I couldn't even pick up on that the first time.
That's surprising.
Because of Ronda's delivery, I think, is the main thing.
Well, that could be. It was.
And on the surface, you would have thought that this was just a bad promo. But then when you actually break down what she said...
come on, avocado toast eating?
Yeah.
Really? Who even heard of avocado toast?
But the part, though, I really didn't like when I actually broke it down is where she says the bubble-wrapped ego and a porcelain self-perception, which at first I didn't know what porcelain self-perception meant, so I had to do some Googling. And I found out that porcelain is the material that like fine china is made of.
Yeah. Like
so,
the collectible like porcelain dolls.
Yeah. So essentially what I gather is a porcelain self-perception is like you perceive yourself as perfect, but that is also easily broken, like porcelain.
Oh, very well.
Yeah.
Props to you.
Yeah.
Educating all of us.
Research. I would have never known this, which means that I would say 95% of Raw's audience had no idea what this even meant if they hadn't tuned out by this point.
If not more.
Yeah. So I don't even like that because it undermines Becky's character, which is that she is so confident right now and so self-confident that it just undermines her whole character.
I don't see it.
Well, it's something that Chris Jericho's talked about, is that whether he was a heel or he was a face, when he was cutting a promo on someone, he never wanted to say, well, oh, this guy sucks and this guy is terrible, because the whole thing is, if you beat him, that's like, well, you said this guy sucked, so you should have beat him.
Yeah.
And then if you lose to him, well, that guy sucks and he just beat you.
What's that say about you?
Yeah.
But though, different times.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a while since Jericho's really done a good promo on WWE.
Yeah. As far as, like, a serious one.
Kind of like what Rousey tried to do.
Yeah. So, needless to say, I didn't like this. And I liked it less as I watched it more. We spent way too long on that.
Yeah, we did.
Sorry.
One of the worst parts of the show gets the longest segment on our show.
Porcelain self-perception just had me so interested. We had Ruby Riott versus Natalya.
Now, I loved the promo before Natalya came out.
Yes. So I'm kind of sad that we didn't do a review last week because I laughed so hard at that Natty and
with the glasses.
Yeah, the sunglasses breaking of Natty was for the first week since Jim the Anvil Neidhart sadly passed away. Natty last week decided to wear sunglasses that were said to be the Anvil's, and the same week that the sunglasses are introduced, they are broken.
Yeah.
That's some long-term booking right there.
Well, that's why they got white out.
Like, wouldn't it have been better if Natty had been wearing those since Jim passed?
It'd be better.
Like, if the first time we saw her, since then, she had them.
Yeah.
And then you actually build that up a little bit before you just...
Maybe have Ruby
get to the conclusion.
Ruby slap her and slap the glasses off of her.
Yeah.
And then break them that way somehow. But they should have done something better.
Yeah. So, Ruby's promo beforehand was fantastic.
It was an Alexa promo.
Yeah,
Starting out
the Alexa and Carmella special.
Yeah, I mean, starting out all sweet and innocent, apologetic, and then
she was very.
You see that smile.
Yeah, somber was the word I used for this promo, and until she gets to the punchline where she's like, "And I enjoyed every second of it."
Yeah. Which, I mean, the whole time, though, she kept it together.
Yeah.
She looked genuinely sorry.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Ruby is such a fantastic, she's a fantastic wrestler and worker, for one, but she's such a good promo, too. Like, she really, her acting here was just very good.
Now, it might just be me, but I've noticed that since Ruby Riott has come into the ring with a tan,
yeah,
she gets more TV time.
That very well could have been a straight directive.
Well, I mean, that's just how it seems to me. You know, she came back with a tan from her injury, or just recently. She came in with a tan.
Yeah.
And now she's on TV every week.
Still not winning.
Never said she was winning. But exposure is exposure.
That's true.
If you're not on TV, you'll get forgotten.
Yeah.
Even if you lose, they'll know you were there.
Yeah, yeah. So, in the midst of this, Natalya's music hits, but she comes in from behind Ruby through the crowd, or what have you, wherever she came from.
Under the ring, like Hornswoggle.
Yeah, wherever. And she briefly takes control over Ruby with a takedown, but eventually the numbers get advantage, and they beat up on Natty. And they do a very weak-looking heart attack.
Yeah, that was more like a heart murmur.
Yeah, like if you had the monitor there, it would have just been like beep, 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 beep.
Yeah,
beep. Yeah. Where was Sasha and Bayley? Why did they not help this woman?
I don't know.
They were with Natty last week.
They were too busy in the gorilla room talking to Vince.
Yeah, so that was the end of this. There was no match, as there was scheduled to be.
Yeah, but it was a good promo by Ruby. That's the only thing I got wrote.
Yeah. Now after this is the redo of the Tag Team Battle Royal.
Now, this comes back from commercial, and it's like everybody's back in the ring.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow, magic.
I forgot to mention, too, did you realize that this is the second time that Braun Strowman has destroyed a Tag Team Battle Royal?
Yes. Yes.
The last time was going into the WrestleMania, and that's what led to Nicholas debuting.
Yeah, I know.
Because Braun entered the Battle Royal himself and won.
I guess this time they decided not to let him go through with it.
Yeah, this time he just killed everyone.
But I loved how they did it last time, though.
Yeah, it makes Braun look good. It doesn't make your tag division look good.
No, but it was all about making him look good.
Yeah,
and powerful.
So the geeks of this tag team division are back again. They've gotten iced up after Braun killed them all.
Yeah,
and why did the Lucha House Party get all three of their members in the match? I was wondering
that, but then again, I think it was Corey that made the statement that just because they have three people in the ring, that actually hurts them.
Yeah, Corey was the one saying that, like, how is this fair? And then Cole said well, that's just one more person to be eliminated first.
Yeah, so
because in this version of the Battle Royal they did, it was when one member of your team gets thrown out, both members have to leave.
Yeah. So instead of a 50-50 chance that you're going to get thrown over compared to your partner,
now
they're down to a 33.
Yeah.
So really, I think it hurt them more than anything.
Yeah.
They're not like a big, muscular, strong tag team.
But that's too much thinking. Because
I have nothing else to do but watch wrestling but think. Because
if you just watch this casually, you're just like, wow, those dudes had three people and they still lost.
But this show's not up for a casual person.
That's who they cater to.
And that's wrong.
They certainly don't cater to us.
Oh, if they did, we wouldn't have all these bitch sessions as podcasts.
So, and you want to hear the funniest thing. It comes down to Bobby Roode and Chad Gable versus the Ascension.
Imagine.
Because of course it does.
Although,
who else would it come down to?
I will say that Roode and Gable did that move that I've never seen.
Yeah. I made a note of that. That was awesome.
I don't know what you would call it. I wrote it was a moonsault neck breaker.
Yeah, so Roode had, I believe it was Victor, in position for a neck breaker.
Yeah.
And Gable goes to the top rope and hits a moonsault onto Victor to push him into the neck breaker.
Yeah. It was cool. It was different.
Yeah.
So it was cool.
And Gable gets some height on those moonsaults.
Yeah, he did. I'm liking this Gable Roode team, though.
Yeah. And they eventually toss out Connor or whoever. Yeah. Gable gets Connor, and Connor tries to eliminate Gable, and Gable gets him in like the arm bar over the rope.
Yeah.
So then Roode comes in and tosses
flips him over.
Yeah. So Roode and Gable win. I guess they have at least been somewhat protected the last few weeks.
Well, they better win. They've beaten the Ascension how many times now?
Yeah. Everyone else in this match, like, they were
Enhancement Talent.
Who did we have? There was Roode and Gable, there was the Ascension, and then there was the Lucha House Party.
The B Team.
Oh, yeah, the B Team.
Rhino and Slater.
Heath Slater and Rhino. And is that it?
There was only 5 teams, so that'd be it.
Yeah. So Roode and Gable are the captains of this Survivor Series team. Yay. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled. So, we had a rare Brock Lesnar sighting next.
Yay.
Out with Paul Heyman, Chris's favorite superstar on the roster.
Who?
Brock Lesnar.
I don't know that person. I know a UFC fighter named Brock Lesnar. I don't know a wrestler named Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. So Heyman does his typical Paul Heyman promo. There was a Hotel California reference in there, which I think he told like all the young people that don't understand the Hotel California reference to Google it, bitches, he said.
I wouldn't know. I was in fast forward.
Yeah. he said that AJ Styles would come to the Hotel California, check into Suplex City.
Oh, God, and never check out.
Something like that.
Yeah, okay.
So, of all people, Jinder Mahal interrupts this after Paul Heyman says that Brock will win. It's not a prediction, it's a spoiler.
Hey, that's what he said last time.
Yeah, and sure enough, Brock won.
Yeah, so I guess we know what's going to happen.
Yeah, so Jinder Mahal interrupts, of all people.
Like, really?
And Jinder tries to... He starts by saying that how he was supposed to have the match with Brock last year.
Yeah. But
AJ beat him like the week before Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Which is funny given what we're going to talk about on SmackDown later. But Jinder like warns Brock not to take AJ lightly. And then he says he wants to help Brock with his mantra.
Yeah.
And Heyman says, like, do you even want to listen to this? And Brock says, no, let him in. You're Jewish. You need to hear this.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I have no idea.
What? His mantra. What does that have to do with Jewish?
Sounded good.
It's
made me laugh.
It sounded funny.
Yeah. Come on, we work together. How much crap do I say that I say just because I think it sounds funny?
Yeah. So, Jinder tries to help Brock with his meditation. Shanti.
Yeah.
Brock kind of plays along for a minute.
Like a quick second.
And then he kills everyone.
But did you see how that one little Singh brother was landing?
Yeah, I was going to mention.
Twice.
The Singh brothers are madmen. In every bump they take it as far as they can.
They take it like it's the last one they're ever going to take.
Yeah. Like, you can go back to the Randy Orton Jinder feud, where Orton tosses them onto the announce table and just neck first, or off the Punjabi prison. These men have no they have no concern for their well-being.
I just hope they got good insurance.
Well, they work for WWE, so
probably not.
So they have to buy their own insurance.
Yeah.
Because they're independent contractors.
Yeah, exactly. And they don't make much because they're just managers.
Yeah. So, yeah. Jinder took an F5 on the floor, and that ended this.
But man, that Singh brother that took those 2 suplexes,
Yeah.
he landed hard and high.
Yep.
And I mean, after the first one, nothing but holding his head.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked painful to watch.
Yeah. It's just like they want to maximize their few minutes. When they get the chance to be in something like this, they want to make it memorable, is what I gather.
That. But I also think it could have went a little worse.
Yeah.
Because Brock's a big guy, strong, tall, and these little Singh brothers are like my leg.
Yeah.
And
the way Brock works, he's just going to throw you.
Yeah, he's going to throw you. He don't care.
Yeah, you land however you want to land, but I'm just going to pick you up and I'm going to throw you.
Yeah.
The landing is on you, pal.
Yeah. It's not my fault to control the landing.
Yeah. So, that was our go-home segment for Lesnar going into Survivor Series.
Yeah, thank God we're done with him.
We have Bobby Lashley and Elias next for the final spots in the Survivor Series men's traditional tag team elimination match.
Yeah, let's do this.
So Bobby comes out and he does his whole posing thing in the ring. And they started this last week is when Leo says, "Show him your favorite pose, Bobby." And he bends over and...
Is that because he's used to being screwed by WWE?
And that's a good point. And points at his ass.
Yeah, it's like, who cares? As soon as I saw that, fast forward.
But the funny thing was, though, he does it the first time, and then he turns around to show the other side of the crowd, too. Yeah, in case you guys couldn't see, this is my ass.
Yeah, like we didn't know. Like the big 30-foot monitor on the ceiling doesn't show it.
Poor Bobby Lashley.
I know, he's stuck with that Leo Rush guy.
Bobby has said, like, the main reason for him coming back was to have the match with Lesnar. At
and
least
he is
one of them.
so far from that.
So far from that.
He's at the point right now where I saw The Miz and Sandow. Except he's in the role of Sandow. He's the comedic relief.
Wow.
Yeah. And Leo Rush isn't even on my radar.
Yeah. Random note, I watched a 205 Live match with Leo Rush and Cedric Alexander.
Oh, he actually wrestles.
Yeah, he does on 205 Live. And, Cedric's finisher, the lumbar check.
Yeah.
So Leo takes the lumbar check, and it looks like Cedric's knees are like a trampoline. Like, Leo just bounces 10 feet in the air.
Oh, my God.
It was ridiculous. You'll have to check that out at some point.
Yeah, I might have to look for that one.
That was fantastic. I'll give Leo that. So, back to the segment, though. Eventually, Elias interrupts this, and he's on the stage on his with his guitar and everything. But he's on the phone, and he's apparently on the phone with Child Protective Services.
Yes.
And he tells them that Bobby Lashley has this kid in the ring with him, and he's pointing at his butt. It's really weird. And Elias goes, "Oh, how old is he? He can't be more than 10 years old." This was moderately funny.
Oh, it was. It was hilarious.
Yeah. So,
because if you look at all the superstars, and then you see Leo Rush, what would you think? He's a kid.
Yeah.
And
funny stuff.
But you know what the craziest part is? Little Nicholas at 10 years old has more matches on the main roster than Leo Rush.
That is true. And more wins.
And more wins.
He's undefeated.
Yeah.
They're building Nicholas to be the next Undertaker. To build this undefeated WrestleMania streak.
Yeah, wait, give it another 15 years, let him get trained.
Yeah.
What's he going to come back as? The Gravedigger? No, because that name's already taken by copyright.
Yeah. All right. So, Bobby Lashley gets upset about this and tells Elias to just get in the ring and all that. We have the match. It was fairly quick. And
although the end happened, which I have not seen in years.
yeah.
And I wonder because, I mean, we talked about the old days of wrestling, the Attitude Era, before that, after that. And I haven't seen anything like this since the days of Hornswoggle.
Yeah, so Elias is trying to get back into the ring, and it's at a count of 9 when Lio Rush from underneath the ring holds Elias's foot to prevent him from getting in the ring.
Now, what I don't understand is Elias is, what, about 6'5", 6'6"?
Yeah.
215, 230?
Yeah.
And how's this little munchkin of a man going to hold his foot?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Do you remember the last time we actually saw this spot?
No.
It was in a Survivor Series match.
Ooh,
just a couple years ago. It was James Ellsworth, in fact, who held Braun Strowman's foot.
You're right.
And then Strowman, killed him.
I did not remember that.
Yeah.
So I guess it hasn't been all that long.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, though, I can't think of any time.
Not since horny.
Little horny, indeed. Yeah, so after that, Elias takes out Lashley and beats up on Lio Rush. And
Thank God somebody finally shut him up.
Yeah, and throws Lio from the inside the ring to Lashley on the outside of the ring.
Yeah, that was a nice throw.
Yeah.
Good catch, too.
Yeah, so Lashley is the final member for Team Raw.
Which, I mean, I was okay with either one going on for the team.
Yeah.
They both have pros and cons. But, I mean, I really don't care.
Yeah. That's a good, what do you call it? Wrapping up of that. I don't care.
Yeah, I just don't care. Not about that.
Yeah, so we have Alexa Bliss coming out.
Oh, yes.
With
this part.
With Mickie James, Nia Jax, and Tamina. All 3 of them. And Alexa says her team consists of these 3 women and Natalya.
Yeah. Yeah, Natalya wasn't there.
Yeah, Alexa told her she could have the rest of the night off.
Yeah, because of that beatdown that she suffered.
Yeah. So we have the 3 heels and Natalya.
Yeah.
All right. And I'll get more on that later. So Alexa states that the winner of this match will be the final member of the team. And it's Sasha versus Bayley.
Now, did you have any inkling who was going to be in the match before they came out?
I assumed that it would actually be one of them.
I assumed one.
I didn't really have a prediction. I mean, if I had to guess, I would have guessed that Sasha would have won, but I don't know.
Well, see, I don't know. I've seen some of their takeover matches and all that. There's no telling who would win.
Yeah.
But it was a cool little quick match.
Yeah, they're always good working with each other.
Oh, they are.
And they just did a little something here until Banks has Bayley in the bank statement, and Tamina comes in.
Oh yeah, it was just Tamina
at first, and then breaks it up, and then all 3 of them come in and beat down on them.
Yeah.
And Alexa introduces Ruby Riott as her final pick.
But
as a nice
this is
haha, gotcha.
Yeah. Well, I loved it.
It was kind of funny.
But it's kind of interesting. You've got 4 heels in one face.
Yeah, and one of them
broke Daddy's sunglasses.
Yeah, one of them is in a feud with
so
the babyface.
It's kind of weird.
It is a strange dynamic.
I guess
I would dare say that
team.
I would dare say that this is the worst Survivor Series team I've ever seen.
Men and women.
Think of Alexa Bliss is the captain, but she's not competing in the match.
Is she still under medical reasons not to?
Yeah, she hasn't been cleared yet.
Okay.
And so in this match, competing, we have Nia Jax, Mickie James are probably the 2 biggest names. And then you have Tamina, Ruby Riott, and Natalya.
Well, depending on how long you've been watching, you know Tamina. If you've been watching long enough, she's had a lot of time off.
Yes.
But, yeah, I guess Mickie James and Nia would be the biggest 2.
Yeah. So this team sucks. That's my main point.
I'm rooting for the ref. Because in my mind, he's the only one that's going to win in this match.
Yeah. So after that was the aforementioned invasion,
which we covered.
with badass Becky coming in and slaying everyone, even with a broken face.
Yeah, I love how they kept saying that. She's got a broken face.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, she don't. She has a broken nose.
Yeah.
And a messed up face.
Just unplugged my computer.
Well, I'm sorry.
Anyway. Hopefully, though, Becky's injuries are not like an orbital bone injury, which would keep her out for a very long time.
Hopefully just a little black eye from getting hit.
Hopefully it is just the concussion and broken nose that she can recover from.
Hopefully she'll be back by Royal Rumble.
Yeah, hopefully soon.
Hopefully sooner, but I mean, there's really nothing.
They haven't vacated the title yet, which is the good thing.
And then there's really nothing major for her to do at TLC right now either.
Yeah.
So why not give her a break? Let her recoup. Bring her back for the pay-per-view of Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
I mean, she can come back before that, but for pay-per-view wise, I'd keep her off that until January.
Yeah.
Gives it time to build a match.
That's true. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
I'd rather have a good 5-6 week build up to an awesome match.
Yeah, she doesn't need to compete on TV.
Not every week.
Not in the current state, even if she does get cleared.
Yeah, no.
So, we got to roll on. Took way too long on Raw.
Yes, we did. Longer than expected, even. Yeah. I mean, I figured with as short as the notes were, but it seems like the shorter the notes, the more bitching we do.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, we're going into SmackDown.
Yes, going into SmackDown.
I'm going to do a couple things.
Yeah.
And no, you don't know about it.
I don't at all.
So, I'm going to say...
I never know what you're going to say.
That's true, I don't either. I am going to say the Marine 6 is now available everywhere.
God.
Hey, I haven't seen it yet, but I plan on watching it tonight or tomorrow. And
you can let me know how average it is.
Okay. Hey, I can't complain. All 5 of them to me have been great.
Okay. Fair enough.
And I will say that I think since Alexa Bliss is out with a concussion, and she's the captain of Team Raw's women team, why not put Becky as captain of SmackDown's women team, being that she's out with a concussion? Because they don't have a captain on SmackDown.
Yeah.
So why not have Becky? She can't do her match. We get that. But she could be out there as a manager type, valet.
Yeah.
Why not?
Or even if she was in Charlotte's corner for the RONDA and Charlotte match.
It'd almost be pointless because if she's going to be out there, she's a heel.
Yeah.
She would have to interfere.
Yeah, that's fair.
And she obviously can't.
Unless it was like a situation where she's just watching from the outside, but
I'd rather see her at the ring as a manager for the team than a one-on-one match that means nothing.
Yeah, I mean that'd be fine. I'm not sure that it adds a whole lot.
We may not add a lot, but
Survivor Series predictions after the
should be on TV.
On pay-per-view.
Why not be seen?
Yeah,
I got. And it shows her doing wrong. Yeah. She's not in a match, but she's not even here. Well, screw her. But she's here now. She can't wrestle.
That's
on time.
Oh, yeah, we'll see. They might do something over it. Yeah, they got rid of the overrun actual show.
So now, and I looked.
That'd be
for
interesting.
For 3-hour Raw, you're only getting 2 hours and 4 minutes.
Yeah, we still have Survivor Series predictions to get to after this. I was so happy that they got rid of that overrun.
I enjoyed it because usually that's where all the good stuff of the night happens is the last 5 minutes when they're already into the next hour.
Yeah, but now you can just put that stuff 20 minutes earlier.
But they won't.
I mean, I would be worried if I'm like Apollo Crews or someone that it doesn't get a lot of TV time as it is. Now there's even less.
That could be. I will say, WrestleMania tickets available tomorrow morning, Friday. Figured I'd plug it. We are a wrestling podcast.
WWE does not need us to plug their stuff.
No, but it's kind of me just running at everybody's faces that we're going.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're going, let us know.
Yeah, maybe we'll see you.
And we'll meet you somewhere.
Hey, why not? Let's see if anybody else is going. Let's go out and have drinks or something.
Yeah, I'm down.
Let's go. Let's do a podcast with anybody that's there.
Yeah, maybe if any of the 5 of you are listening are going to WrestleMania.
Yeah, come on, 5 of you.
Those same 5 that haven't left us a review on iTunes yet.
Maybe we should do a live podcast and just record it on our phone as we're watching it.
The background noise would be ridiculous.
It'd be so realistic.
All right,
let's do this.
SmackDown.
Which,
kicked off with the video package showing Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Then we get to an AJ Styles promo, which is quickly interrupted by Paul Heyman coming through like the
timekeeper,
the timekeeper's area, and he's like fighting Greg Hamilton for a microphone.
It's like, really, this dude's an announcer. Paul Heyman's gonna whoop him up.
Yeah. So Heyman says that AJ is among the greatest in-ring performers of all time, and he puts over AJ a lot. And but then he says that he mentions names like Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair and Daniel Bryan.
Mm-hmm.
And he says that ultimately AJ is only the second best in-ring performer of all time to Daniel Bryan. So kind of like stirring AJ up.
Yeah.
And that Brock will take AJ as a consolation prize to Bryan, because I guess Brock would have rather had Bryan.
I'd rather see that match.
Yeah. So AJ reminds Heyman that he did not just beat Bryan, but he tapped him out 2 weeks ago or whatever it was.
That Friday.
Yeah. And what else? Bryan comes out.
Yeah.
And he warns AJ to keep my name out your mouth. Effectively.
Yeah.
And AJ follows this by saying, so when someone asks me who my toughest opponent is, I can't say Daniel Bryan.
And bam.
Yeah.
He punched him in the face.
He was not playing.
He said he was looking for a reason to punch him in the face,
Yeah.
and he got it.
And there's a big brawl, and Shane McMahon, Hero Shane,
Yeah.
the best in the world,
Which wasn't even mentioned for a while.
along with a couple of agents.
Yeah, I know.
Probably Jamie Noble and Fit Finlay or something like that.
I didn't see Fit. I saw Jamie.
Dean Malenko, maybe.
No, it was somebody else I've never seen before, looking like they want to be a Men in Black.
Yeah, they all pull them apart.
Yeah.
And we come back from commercial, and Shane is yelling at Bryan backstage when AJ comes in, and they have to be separated again. And Shane just angrily announces, "It'll be on the line tonight."
Well, but that's because Styles said he wanted a match with Bryan tonight.
Did he say that?
Yes.
I could not even hear that.
Well, I never said I heard it. I'm just saying that's what they said. They said that he said it.
Huh.
I think it was the announcers later on said that he asked for this match, and that's why you hear Shane go, "It'll be on the line tonight."
Okay. And that is cleared up by commentary later on.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, it might be one of those things, too much noise for us to hear.
Yeah.
So they slipped the commentary a note.
Yeah. So our main event will be AJ versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE title. And I do want to mention, like, the whole day, Tuesday, in the midst of this Becky Lynch news, I was constantly refreshing Twitter. And when I saw that, I think it was WrestleVotes, their Twitter page, that originally said that they didn't know what, but that something big was going to happen tonight on SmackDown.
And, we spoke yesterday at work, because I asked if you watched SmackDown, and you said, yeah, because something big was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Well, I do have to say, I appreciate no spoilers. I appreciate that one.
I'm sure when I said that, you did not expect what was going to happen.
No, and don't worry, we're not going to spoil it. We're going to make you wait just like I had to wait.
Yeah, we'll wait until the end.
Yeah, but damn. I'm going to Farouk the hell out of it.
Yeah, exactly. So we have Andrade Cien Almas versus Jeff Hardy in a normal match.
No,
to say the least.
I thought there was some kind of stipulation.
No, there was no. I thought
the winner got to join the team.
No, because Jeff wasn't on the team.
And neither was Andrade because he lost to...
Yeah. So, at this point, the team is filled because they haven't gotten to the point later. But I'll clear that up in a minute.
Gotcha.
So, Jeff wins with a twist of fate and a swanton in a regular old match.
But that swanton, you see the landing? He landed.
I'm sure he landed right on top of him like he has been.
But a lot of times, he overshoots a little, and maybe the upper back will hit. He landed straight on the small of his back in Andrade's gut.
Yeah, that's how he's been doing it since he came back, pretty much.
Well, I mean, it seems like lately, the majority of the time, he kind of overdoes it and lands a little too far.
Yeah.
But this just looked like a perfect landing. That's how it should be. It'll save his back a little bit.
Yeah, it's not going to help Andrade.
No,
but
at least not his ribs.
But it's Jeff got to protect himself. That age he's at.
Definitely.
And so after this match is where we cut to backstage with Miz and Paige watching. And Paige, I think it's Paige, informs Miz that Daniel Bryan is off the team.
Yes.
And here's what I didn't like about this, is that they did not give a good enough reasoning for me. It's because they kind of foreshadowed what was going to happen later by
saying
kicking
because
Daniel
he got
Bryan
in his
off the
match
team.
tonight.
Yeah.
He's off the team Sunday.
Like, I would have liked it more if they would have said, like, because Bryan is because he fought with Samoa Joe last week and you last week, he doesn't. We don't want him on the team because he's too much of a combustible element. Yeah. I felt like that would have tied it up better.
That would have been better.
Yeah. So Bryan is already off the team, and Miz is now the captain.
Which is fine. We don't need two captains.
Yeah. So he says it's great to have the scent, the stench of Daniel Bryan off the team.
Yeah.
And he's like sniffing the air, and he's like, "What is that? Coconut oil?"
Yeah, but then Samoa Joe steps up.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Was that Samoa that smelled like coconut oil?
I don't. I'm at a loss for words.
Because as soon as he said that, that's when Samoa Joe stepped up. He was like, "Dude, what are you rubbing on your body?"
Yeah, because in typical WWE fashion, the camera pans away a little bit to show Samoa Joe and Rey Mysterio standing right there.
Yeah.
Just waiting to get in the shots.
Be like, I'm still here waiting. Hello.
Yeah, so Miz announces Jeff for his team following his performance against Andrade Cien.
That's right.
And that's when the camera awkwardly cuts to Samoa Joe and Rey Mysterio. And Miz tells Rey that he's off the team.
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere.
Because that was Bryan's choice.
Yeah.
And since Bryan's not on the team, he doesn't have to use him.
No. But Paige says if he wants him off the team, he'll have to beat him in a match.
But I did like how she asked Mysterio if that was okay first.
Did she?
Yeah. After she said that, she looked at Mysterio and go, "Is that okay with you?"
Oh.
And he said, "Any chance to beat up the Miz?"
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. I recall that now.
Yeah, I mean, nothing major, but, just a little side note that is different than out of the normal.
Yeah.
Normally they don't ask somebody.
Yeah, that's cool.
You're on a match.
Yeah. So we get another Rey and Miz match, which I think is the third since he's come back.
Something like that, and it was nothing major.
Yeah. Talk about it in a minute.
I mean, it was just a lot of nothing.
Yeah. First, we had this Shinsuke Nakamura interview, and he comes in, and he has headphones in.
Yeah.
And I assumed like he was listening to music or something.
I figured, it'd come out and he'd listen to his entrance music.
Yeah. But it turned out that he was watching Seth Rollins' promo from the night before.
Yeah.
And Shinsuke says that it broke his heart to see that Seth Rollins is not interested in their match.
I'm not interested in their match.
And so since Seth wasn't thinking of him, it broke his heart. So at Survivor Series, I'll break your face.
No, bull.
I mean, I liked this promo, honestly. Even though the crowd chanted "what" at every word.
I was going to say, I honestly didn't watch it. You know how I am with promos.
You're the worst.
I'm professional.
How are you going to review something that you skip?
Well, I'm reviewing it now. You're the reviewer. I just give my personal thoughts. Yeah. That's how we get the whole spectrum covered. You got the technical side. I got I want the real story. I want what you really saw or heard, not what they wanted you to see or hear.
Okay. Yeah, so after that was Miz versus Ray.
Yeah.
Average match.
I mean, even the ending sucked.
Yeah. So Ray won with a roll-up.
It wasn't a roll-up.
And then Orton...
It was more like a crucifix style pin. It's just... Because to me, a roll-up is something different.
A surprise pin.
Okay, there you go. Surprise crucifix style pin.
Yeah, so then Randy Orton comes out of nowhere.
Like always.
And he tries to RKO Ray, but Ray gets out of it somehow. And then Orton and Miz back into each other, and Orton just settles for an RKO on the Miz.
And Mysterio takes off.
Yeah.
Can't blame him. I don't know how many times he's been caught with an RKO.
What exactly is Randy's role? Like, he's not even on the team.
No. I think he's just... They gave him just room to do whatever. It's like, you know what? Just RKO everybody and see what storyline sticks.
Yeah. But I feel like they just write the TV, and then somewhere along, they're just like, okay, now where can we fit in a Randy RKO?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Right. This Miz versus Ray match. That'd be great.
You know, that could be is maybe they get the whole outline done for TV and say, okay, now we have 3 things left that we need to add here, here, and here. Where can we put them? That makes sense.
Yeah.
I can see them doing it.
Yeah. So this is what after this is when Paige comes out and she introduces the women's locker room, and the whole locker room files in a line.
All 7 of them.
Yeah. As Paige introduces the man, Becky Lynch, who will handpick her replacement for the match against Ronda Rousey. Becky has a nice promo and says that Ronda isn't the baddest bitch on the planet, but the luckiest. And even with a broken face and a severe concussion, if she was cleared, she would still make Ronda tap. And then this was funny moments where Becky goes around the ring and she looks each one of these women in the eye.
I mean, did you really think she was going to pick one of the Iconics to go against Ronda Rousey?
I was totally set for her to pick Billie Kay.
I would not pick her to go against Big Bird.
Yeah, the likes of Billie Kay and Lana.
Yeah. Or Carmella.
I did did you hear the loudest reaction, though, for each one? Asuka got the loudest pop.
And it really made me think she was going to pick Asuka.
Yeah.
Because of that.
And Asuka is going, pick me, I am ready.
Yeah.
And Becky goes back to Charlotte and tells Charlotte to make Ronda tap just like I was going to.
Which, at that point, I wish they would have stopped it.
Yeah.
It was great how she said it. It was great how it...
That should have been the end of the segment.
She should have just, you know what, make her tap like I should have, and just walked out.
Yeah. But they took it one step too far.
2 steps too far.
Because first they shake hands.
Step 1.
And then Becky, not even Charlotte, but Becky initiates and pulls Charlotte in to hug her.
Step 2.
Yeah.
2 steps too far.
Yeah. I feel like this could have just been, instead of it merging back into that friendship sort of thing, that this could have just been more of a mutual respect sort of thing.
Me personally, I would have rather see a match between Charlotte and Asuka. The winner goes.
Yeah, that would have been fine.
Even if Charlotte was going to win, at least it'd make it a little better on her being there, not just, oh, well, you got handed something else for nothing.
Yeah, that would have been fine. And Charlotte's interviewed afterwards, says Sunday she'll be fighting for Becky. And she'll beat Ronda to prove SmackDown is the superior brand.
Is she going to make her tap with the figure 8 or the armbar? Or disarm her?
Well, she's going to lose.
Well, that's not the point. But which one is she going to attempt?
That would be nice if she did a disarm.
Because think about it.
That'd be a cool spot.
Becky said, make her tap like I would have.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. That's a good spot.
So I
like that.
If you're going to make her tap like Becky, that'd be the armbar.
Yeah.
Or I'm just taking it too literal, which is always possible.
No, I like that. I think that's a really good idea for a spot in the match.
Yeah, even if she doesn't win with it, at least she could attempt it. Or hold her in it for a second or two.
Yeah, I like it. I dig. So we have the Bar defeating the New Day.
Against the Big Show.
Yeah, that's how they're announced as. They are the Bar and Big Show.
Because obviously he's not part of the Bar.
Yeah. because
He's the post that holds up the bar.
the bar are not using the Freebird rule
No.
because Big Show isn't a part of the bar, apparently. I'm perplexed by this.
I didn't see much point to the match, really.
Yeah, this was
Week after week.
the very similar matches.
Ever since Big Show came out and turned his back on the universe again for the 12,000th time being a heel.
When he chokeslammed Kofi through the pancake table.
Yeah, which is so funny because he flip-flops more than a pancake.
Yeah. Like Big E said.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he said what was it? He flips back and forth more than a flapjack.
But now during this match, they did announce that the traditional Survivor Series 10 versus 10 tag team match is on the pre-show.
Yes, it is on the pre-show.
Pre-show starts 5 p.m. Eastern Time.
Dear Lord.
Hey, I live in the Eastern Time. I need to know this.
No, I'm saying, dear Lord, the show starts at 5 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, and you know it's going to go, what?
Until 11?
Yeah, at least. So I'd say 11 to 11:30. So you're looking at about 6 to 7 hours of wrestling to watch.
Yeah.
That's one podcast on its own.
R.I.P. So, Big Show beat Kofi with a midair KO punch.
But, man, those frying pan chest slaps that he gives.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, especially on Kofi. He's so little.
Yeah, Kofi has such a small chest.
He does. I mean, he has no pecs.
Yeah.
I mean, his nipples are go inward. I mean, he has no chest at all.
Yeah, that's very true.
But, man, when Big Show hits those slaps, it just echoes.
Yeah.
Now, I know a lot of it has to do with how you cup your hand. When you slap it, all it has to do with how your hand is, how loud it is.
Yeah, but you're still being hit by that huge hand.
And now, you couldn't see it on him, but look at Daniel Bryan. You can see a slap.
Oh, yeah.
A chest slap on him.
Oh, yeah.
When you can see the fingerprints of the person that did it,
yep.
There's issues.
Yep.
But yes, the KO punch to Kofi from the top rope was, to me, just a quick end.
Yeah.
Just a way to get it over with quickly.
Yep. So next we have the Usos. I don't... Where did this promo take place in? Like a sewer?
Backstage boiler room somewhere? The basement?
Yeah, they have all of the members of the 5-on-5 or the 10-on-10 tag team traditional cluster match.
I have to say something about that.
Yes.
Their choice for the first team.
The Clones?
Why?
Because they don't have anyone else.
I don't care. Why the Clones? They haven't won anything. They're like the Chicago Bears. They can't win anything.
No, the Bears are good this year. They're in the lead for
but they will screw it up because they're my team and I know them. But I don't understand why the Clones are in this match. Except the fact that there's no other tag teams on SmackDown.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
I mean, what about Los Conquistadors? Find 2 random people and dress them up.
Well, Kurt Angle is busy recovering.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
Yeah. It was funny that the first team they look at is the Clones. And then there's also Sanity.
Yeah.
Who...
Now, is all 3 of them going to be in it, or just 2?
I'm assuming 2.
And which 2?
Whichever 2 they want.
Only one got a T-shirt.
Yeah.
But
I just...
I mean, come on, they're giving T-shirts, SmackDown shirts to everybody, and they only give one?
Yeah. Eric Young says, we will let the purge commence.
Yeah.
For one, how could Sanity, and the Clones for that matter, possibly care about defending their brand?
The Clones don't have a brand. They just show up when they're told.
Yeah.
And Sanity hasn't even been on the main roster or even on TV long enough to know what brand is.
Yeah. Effectively.
Yeah. So I don't know.
But after that, we got the AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan main event
for the championship.
For the WWE Championship.
Oh my God.
So
awesome.
Yeah. This starts off similar to the match they had
like every other match everybody has.
Well, no, this one was different. Like it was kind of like the match they did previously where you have Bryan targeting the arm and AJ targeting the knee.
Which, because of the last time they fought, at what show was that? Super Showdown on that Friday?
No, AJ and Bryan had the match on SmackDown.
Their title match?
Yeah, that was on TV.
That's right, that was on TV, because they were supposed to go that Friday.
It was supposed to be on Crown Jewel.
Crown Jewel, yeah.
Yeah.
But because if you go back a couple weeks to that, he made Daniel Bryan tap out.
Yep.
By damaging that leg.
Yep.
So, to me, Bryan's just returning the favor by going after his arm.
Yeah, and Bryan throughout this match was more vicious.
Extremely more vicious. He didn't play to the audience like he normally does.
And that gets us to the finish. The something big. I assumed that the something big was going to be Daniel Bryan winning the WWE Championship.
No, it was him Nakamura AJ.
Yeah, so Styles is setting up for the phenomenal forearm.
Yes.
But Bryan averts it, and AJ collides with the ref. He doesn't knock him out, but he knocks him down.
Which, why would the ref stand behind him?
Yeah, I could see that ref bump coming a mile away because the ref was just in
there and not looking.
Yeah, the worst possible position.
You're a referee. Why aren't you looking at the action?
Yeah, so Styles knocks the ref down, and Daniel Bryan kicks AJ.
Shinsuke's him.
Yeah. Shinsuke's him right in the balls.
Yes, a nice kick between the legs.
And Daniel's original reaction to this was like remorse.
It was.
And he starts with that, and he's like, oh, what did I just do?
Yeah.
But then that transitions into like this dark grin.
Yeah.
And then he sets up for the running knee and pins AJ. The ref is back to life. 1, 2, 3.
Oh my God. Are we seeing... And that's actually my second note after saying it's an awesome match. My second note is, are we seeing a Daniel Bryan heel turn?
That was it.
And that, yeah. Well, people at home may not know, but I write my notes when I'm watching.
Yeah.
So my notes may say something, and it happens a few minutes later. It's like, well, holy crap, I'm psychic.
Yeah. As soon as he hits that low blow, I was stunned. I was like, wait, what? And I was expecting him to just not do anything after that.
Yeah. And at least wait for AJ to recover a little bit. But, nope.
Yeah. And Daniel Bryan's performance in this, man.
Oh, my God.
What a great actor.
Now, you know what that means, though? Comes Sunday.
Yes.
Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
Which Heyman talked about previously.
Yep. And Heyman instigated this whole thing.
Yes, by bringing up Daniel Bryan.
Yep. And Daniel Bryan, his dream match that he has always said is that he's always wanted to have the match with Lesnar.
Yes.
Since, 2014, when they were originally supposed to have a match. That never happened.
Yeah.
And we'll finally get that. And unpredictably, Daniel Bryan will be a heel.
Yeah.
So it will be a heel versus heel match.
But even though he's going to be a heel, he's going to have a hell of a pop when his music hits.
Yeah. So I will give credit where credit is due that Daniel's performance here was excellent, as I mentioned.
Yes. But the beatdown afterwards.
Yeah. He beats him down afterwards, stomps on him.
He just straight whooped him.
Yeah. But...
like somebody needs to do Leo Rush.
But... why are we turning Bryan heel?
I don't know. Maybe it's... think about it, though. He's Daniel Bryan, but he's getting kind of stale.
That's true.
I mean, it's always the same.
Not by his fault either.
No, not by his fault. Not at all.
But several matches with Big Cass and the underwhelming Miz feud, that it just fell flat.
I mean, yeah, since he's returned, there has not been one thing I see go right in his direction.
Yeah.
The Big Cass feud was pointless and a waste.
Yeah.
The Miz feud had years of build-up, and for what?
Nothing.
Exactly. A letdown.
It could have... it was fine, but compared to what it could have been...
compared to what it should have been.
Compared to what it should have been, it was a disappointment.
Yeah. Just a joke. So maybe that's why. Maybe it's just he needs something different.
Yeah.
Because as a face, you're not going to face other faces very often. So I guess the only way to get more competition or different competition is to flip them.
Yeah. It's a shame, though, because Daniel Bryan is like the textbook babyface.
And he's the all-time underdog.
Yeah. The story writes itself.
Yeah.
And I do feel like, as happy as I am to see Daniel Bryan win the WWE Championship, could you imagine building to that at a big pay-per-view where Bryan, as a babyface, gets the WWE Championship back? The one that he had to vacate because of his concussions and fought for years to get back into the ring to win, and then to win it as a babyface. It just goes back. Well, I've talked about this before, is that they can't book babyfaces anymore.
Not really.
This is a heel company. If you want to get anywhere, you got to be a heel.
Look at The Undertaker. He hasn't always been a face. Actually, he's more of just individual.
Yeah, but that's going back to the days when it was more of a babyface company where you had The Rock and Stone Cold.
Well, there were a lot of faces, but it seemed like the heels are the ones that got the most attention.
Okay.
Not necessarily, in the ring, but just all around, promo-wise, match-wise, pay-per-view-wise. The heels seem to get more attention.
Right. I think it is more now where it's just we turn everybody heel. We turned Sami Zayn heel.
And then he's gone forever.
We turned Becky Lynch heel, or tried to.
But
the most natural, organically over baby faces are the ones that we turn. It's just odd.
Braun Strowman. Natural face.
Hot as can be.
And they turn him heel to go to team with McIntyre and Ziggler. I'm not saying they turned him heel, but they teamed him with heels.
Yeah. They did turn him heel.
And in return, that turns him into heel for that period of time.
Yeah, when he was feuding with Roman.
But I think
he got sucked into the black hole.
Yeah. And I hate to say it, but I'm glad Roman is out, because now we don't have to see him as a heel going forward.
Right.
I think that's the only reason that they split him.
Yeah. It is. There's more opportunities there. But, yeah, what a stunning ending.
Who would have ever imagined the WWE title would change hands on TV?
Yeah.
Nowadays.
It's funny that it was just last year that they did the same thing with AJ and Jinder.
But it's just so shocking because of that they just did it last year, but they doing it again in the same month?
Yeah. My original prognosis of this was that this was a last-minute panic move because they felt like without Becky versus Ronda, they needed a marquee match. But
you're telling me AJ and Brock isn't a marquee match?
Yeah, but it's the same match as last year. We've seen it before.
Okay.
But it turns out that this decision, according to Meltzer again, was made over the weekend before Becky was injured.
Oh.
So this was what they planned on doing.
I wonder why. Because where does that leave AJ for Survivor Series?
I'm guessing he won't. I mean, unless he has some sort of role in the Brock and Bryan match, I don't imagine he'll do anything.
And that doesn't make sense unless it's something personal he needs to take time off for. And instead of announcing anything, they just do what they did.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Well,
maybe they're trying to keep the kayfabe alive for a fraction of a minute.
However it may be, they shocked me, which, as a wrestling fan in 2018, how often can you really say that you're shocked at something?
As long as we've been watching, and as much as we've seen, you can't hardly ever say that.
Yeah.
It's more predictable than shocking.
Yep. So, anything else on these shows before we just roll through the Survivor Series predictions?
Nope, I give both shows a D-.
Yeah, they both sucked.
I'm just not going to flunk them, but they both get a D-.
Yeah, the SmackDown, the Raw had a good ending. SmackDown was shocking in the end, but most of it before that was kind of meh.
Yeah. If it wasn't for the ending of SmackDown, it would have flunked.
All right. So, we'll roll through Survivor Series card real quick. The Bar versus AOP. Tag Team Champions versus Tag Team Champions.
I'm going with the Bar, just because of the experience.
Okay. I am going with AOP because I feel like they need to be protected for now. And
Nah, not in a co-branded match. They don't.
yeah, it won't hurt anyone a lot. But who the hell do AOP even have to feud with? Like,
I mean, honestly,
on Raw, like
they honestly don't.
they have Gable and Rude.
There's no super heavyweights like AOP. You know, like Earthquake. In Tugboat.
They can hold the titles forever.
Bring back Rikishi. We need some super heavyweights in the ring.
All right, so the kickoff match, as we discussed earlier, the tag team 10-on-10 elimination match. Let's see, I don't have this written down.
I'm going with Team Raw.
So Raw has the Lucha House Party, Gable and Rude, the Ascension, the B Team, and Heath Slater and Rhino.
Okay, I lied.
Which sucks.
I'm going with SmackDown.
Yeah, and SmackDown has the Clones, the Good Brothers, Gallows and Anderson, Sanity, New Day, and the Usos.
Yeah, I mean, just with the Usos and the New Day is enough. But then you add the Good Brothers.
Yeah.
The other two don't mean crap.
SmackDown is such a better team. SmackDown has to win that one.
Yeah.
All right. Buddy Murphy defending the Cruiserweight title that he won at Super Showdown.
Buddy Murphy? I thought he was too heavy for Cruiserweight.
He's the Cruiserweight champion.
I thought he weighed more than 205 pounds.
Well, that was a storyline they did.
Well, just looking at him,
I'm sure he probably does in reality.
I mean, I don't know. I don't watch it, but...
Yeah, but you watched the Super Showdown match with him and Cedric.
Yeah, I did watch that, but it just... I don't know, he just seemed... Maybe it's just because it's TV. He looks bigger than what he is.
Yeah. So Murphy defending against Mustafa Ali. I'm going with Buddy. Too early to take it off.
Yeah, I'll go with Murphy just because I don't know any better.
Yeah, exactly. We have the Men's Survivor Series match with Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, Finn Balor, and Dolph Ziggler for Raw against Samoa Joe, Jeff Hardy, Shane McMahon. I forgot to mention this. Why does Shane need to be in this match?
Honestly,
this is the third year in a row Shane McMahon is on the SmackDown Survivor Series team.
But it makes sense this year, to me.
Why?
Because of what he did with the World Cup, this is going to be their way to get retribution.
So it makes sense that they did something that didn't make sense, so now they have to follow it up by doing stuff that doesn't make sense for it to make sense in the world that doesn't make sense.
Makes sense.
I look at a guy like Andrade Cien Almas, who needs like a big match on a big stage, and that spot is being taken by Shane McMahon. I don't need to see Shane McMahon wrestle anymore.
Not much, to me, I like watching him, but only on the big stages. Like a big cage match or something. In a little match, I don't care. He is fun to me, he's fun to watch on the big stuff.
Yeah, so...
I'm going to go with the Raw.
Yeah, Joe, Hardy, Shane, Rey Mysterio, and Miz.
Yeah, I'm going with Raw on the men's team.
And the stipulation, too, if Braun leads the team to victory, he gets another match with Lesnar.
Yeah.
And a match
Corbin.
with Corbin where he gets to pick the stipulation.
But actually, I think as soon as that match is over, he's going to kill Corbin anyway. So.
Yeah. So for that purpose, I'll pick Raw.
Mm.
So Strowman gets his rematch.
That'd be cool.
So then we have the Women's Survivor Series match featuring Mickie James, Nia Jax, Natalya, Tamina, Ruby Riott of Raw against Carmella, Asuka, Naomi, Sonya Deville, and Vacant. Because Charlotte was supposed to be a part of this, but she was taken out. So
what are they going to do with that?
The spot is missing for now.
Have you read anything?
Maybe they can just plug in Mandy Rose or something.
Maybe they're going to bring somebody back.
Maybe.
You know, like a legend or something.
Whoever. But
I'm going to go with the Raw women. Just because of the fact, okay, you've got Carmella with SmackDown. She's not that great. Naomi's good. Asuka's good. I don't.
Sonya's good, but she's not featured that way.
But she's not featured to be that good. Now maybe this could be different for her. Maybe this is going to be her spot to shine. Being a sole survivor and win the match, that would catapult her.
Doubtful, but
I'm not saying she's going to happen. But I'm saying if it would catapult her. But I'm still going to have to go with the Raw women. Just they've got Tamina, they've got Mickey, they've got Nia. I mean, just those three alone.
Yeah, I'll roll with Raw. Then we have Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins versus United States Champion. Yes, he is still the United States Champion. Shinsuke Nakamura.
I saw that title once.
Yeah.
I don't care. I really don't. I'm going to shoot for Raw just because I like Rollins better than Nakamura.
So I'm going to say Shinsuke wins with an assist from Dean Ambrose.
Okay, well, I didn't think about that, but okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling, at least.
Okay.
Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte, Women's Champion, versus not Women's Champion.
Because of what's happened with Becky, I have to go with Rousey.
Yeah, Rousey as well. Then we have Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan.
Unfortunately, I don't know.
This is a tough one, man. Because
I can see him booking it either way.
Because we don't see Lesnar lose often.
But who better to lose to?
But we just turned Daniel Bryan heel and just gave him the title. So if we're going to have him lose 5 days later, that's tough.
I'm going to have to go with Daniel Bryan.
I'm going to stick to my gut and say Lesnar still wins. But I do hope Bryan wins.
I'm thinking maybe they'll have Bryan win because Brock losing at Survivor Series is not going to hurt him anywhere.
No, not because it's not a title match.
Same with Bryan. Losing will not affect him, but
it will affect his momentum because he just turned.
Momentum, yes, but I mean it won't affect like him holding the title.
No,
but I think Daniel Bryan's going to win because I mean Brock's got the title. It's in his contract to do whatever the hell he wants.
Pretty much.
So why not get the win to somebody who needs it to move forward with his story?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from, but I have thought that about Brock Lesnar matches
That's
so many
true.
times.
Didn't we say that at WrestleMania?
And every time he still wins.
WrestleMania, the greatest Royal Rumble,
SummerSlam,
yeah,
Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stick with Brock. And that covers the card.
That's the card?
Yeah, as long as I didn't miss anything.
I've got 7 matches and then 1 on the pre-show.
Yeah, I believe that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Wow. You know what that tells me? Either these matches are going to be really good and longer than a couple minutes and have actual substance in the match.
Hopefully.
Or we're going to get, out of, say, the 4 hours for the pay-per-view, we're going to get
some random
2
interviews.
hours of interviews and video packages.
Well, the video packages will be there. They always are.
They always are. But I think they're starting to add more to them. I mean, I think if you time them from, say, 5 years ago, that the video packages consume probably 30% more time.
Yeah. And they sometimes give them to things that don't really need it.
Yeah.
Like I love it for the big matches, but...
Yeah, the big matches I could see, but for stupid crap...
But if we're going to get a video package for, I don't know, the Women's Survivor Series tag match...
Wait, huh? The Women's Survivor Series tag match.
Yeah, the traditional Women's Elimination Survivor Series match.
Oh, okay. Well, you said the tag match. I'm thinking like the 10 on 10.
Yeah, I didn't mean that.
Yeah, okay.
This is something we didn't discuss, but how about Soul Survivors? We'll go through the matches. The Women's Survivor Series match. Who would you see being the Soul Survivors? I will say, I think Nia and Tamina will be the only 2 left.
I was going to say
to
Nia.
establish that dominance of a team.
I'm going to say at least Nia, because she's got her title match with Rousey next month at TLC.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to let her have a little momentum before that.
Then for the men's, did we both pick Raw here?
I did.
Okay, I did.
Yeah, you did.
So I'm going to say Strowman is the only survivor.
Normally, I would agree with you. I'm going to say they're going to work Strowman over, and they're going to eliminate him before he's the last. Because he's the biggest competition in that match.
So then somebody else wins for Strowman. And then
the team
maybe
still wins. So
maybe
Strowman,
Stephanie could turn that against Strowman and say, well, you didn't lead the team to victory.
But did she say he had to lead the team to victory, or just the team
that was
had to win?
That was the words she used.
I just took it as the team had to win.
Yeah.
He just had to be a part of the match.
Yeah. It's a shame. We don't have a lawyer, and it's not in writing, so we don't know.
And it's WWE, so even if it was in writing, they'd change it last minute.
And then the random tag Survivor Series.
I'm just thinking, I'm going to have to say, he's on such a push right now. I'm going to actually have to say Lashley.
Just Lashley.
Just Lashley. Because Leo is going to be out there to make sure he's safe.
Do you think after that, like, Leo will get on the mic and say, come on, everybody, Lashley.
I honestly would like to see Paul Heyman come out and beat up Leo Rush and take over Apollo, or take over Lashley as a client.
You almost called him
I
Apollo.
did. I did.
You almost called him Apollo.
I did.
Dear Lord. Then the tag team thing. We both picked SmackDown. I guess.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell.
The Usos. Yeah.
Now,
maybe the Usos and New Day.
Now, in that match, if one person from a tag team, like if one of the Usos get pinned, do both Usos go back?
From what I gather, I think the way they did it last year is that each person individually needs to be pinned.
Because that could take. Well, that's why it's the only match on the pre-show.
Yeah, because well, last year when they did it, they just eliminated everyone like back to back.
Well, that's true too. And
it went so quick.
I'd rather see the first person of their tag team, the whole team goes.
That would certainly make it go by faster.
Not necessarily, because instead of having just quick finishes, you could have a little substance of a match,
right?
And twice the people will be eliminated, but. Think of what could happen in between the eliminations besides, oh, here comes a new guy, there's a finisher, there's a pin. Oh, there's another guy, there's a finisher, there's a pin.
That's true.
Something different.
That is true. All right. Do we have anything else to talk about this lovely week in professional wrestling?
Not necessarily. Not that I can think of.
Yeah, so cue the outro. Go subscribe to us on all of the
we don't
platforms
need to list them. We've listed
that are
every week
in the description.
You know where we're at. We know that you listen, and we know you don't review us.
Leave a damn iTunes review.
Somebody. Anybody.
I'm begging you. I'm dying out here.
I mean, really.
The only review is the one I left myself.
And you know, it's even bad because I haven't even reviewed it.
Yeah.
But
what a hypocrites.
Well, I just figured, you know, one of us did, why both of us. That just showed. That's like liking your own Facebook post.
I know someone that does that. But
but you know what I mean? That's the same thing to me.
Yeah, so leave us a freaking review, man.
Come on. Even, I don't care if it's a 1-star review. Just give us a review.
No, it has to be 5 stars.
No, you can't tell them to not review unless it's 5 stars. You have to accept the bad with the good.
Well.
Or don't review at all.
Well, then that will not help us. It will not help us grow. Which is the point.
Hey, publicity's publicity, bad or good. Even if you get a 1-star, review 1 star, I'll still give you a shout out on the air. Just to say that, hey, congratulations, you're the first one to review us.
But just don't actually do that, though.
How are you going to tell someone to review us, but they can only do it with a 5-star?
Well,
I know that helps us.
All right. I'll just say, If you enjoy listening to us,
There you go.
leave us a 5-star review.
Yes. If you enjoy the back and forth bickering that we do once in a while.
If you hate our guts, you probably haven't even made it this far. You probably clicked off 10 minutes in.
Or less.
Yeah.
Once we get going.
In which case you won't leave a review anyway, and that's fine.
And that's fine. Yeah. We don't want you, if you cut out that early, we don't want you to leave a review.
Yeah, who needs you?
But if you're loyal enough to stick around through the whole 2+ hours podcast that we do every week,
Yep.
are we at 2 hours?
Right at 2 hours.
Exactly,
right at the mark.
2 hours plus. Then leave us a review.
We filled our quota.
Yeah. Show us you listen. Show us you give a damn about something. Don't be WWE and just write it off.
I just want to be loved by someone.
And not by me.
Pause. Anyway, we're gonna end on that.
Yeah, that was kind of creepy.
We that went a step too far.
Yeah, there's some editing right there.
No, it'll stay.
All right, Cyril.
But
Our reviewers don't care.
well, I'll let Chris sign us off in the only way he knows how.
It's the only way you told me to.
You came up with it, not me.
One time, it just came out. Now it's a permanent thing. But okay.
Because I can't let you forget about it.
I know. So on that note, we will wrestle you later.
Yay!